Keyboard Culture blog community at keyboardculturemovies.com presents Vicarious Trauma and Volunteers, How to Identify, Prevent, and Treat, featuring the expertise of Dr. Patricia Sherman, PhD, LCSW. Keyboard Culture, HealingIsPossible.com. Volunteers who serve victims experiencing pain and loss may develop a traumatic response called vicarious trauma or compassion fatigue, which, left unchecked, could develop into post-traumatic stress disorder. Symptoms include intrusive images and thoughts, hypervigilance, fear, numbing, difficulty sleeping, irritability, anger or angry outbursts, depression, and difficulty in relationships. Some volunteers and workers may deal with symptoms in unhealthy ways, such as excessive drinking, withdrawn or self-destructive behaviors, using illicit drugs, or over and under eating. How to prevent vicarious trauma in volunteers. Disaster preparedness and training is necessary for all emergency responders, including civilian volunteers. Here are 5 steps to help minimize vicarious trauma, compassion fatigue, and post-traumatic stress disorder in future crises. Rotate shifts to reduce time at emergency sites. Ensure adequate training and ongoing supervision. Establish mental health services to address the needs of volunteers. Communicating honestly regarding what volunteers could expect may help develop coping strategies. Telling your volunteers that emotional reactions are expected and normal can assist them in asking for help. Volunteer supervisors have huge responsibilities during screening, training, and ongoing support. Regular group and/or individual meetings between volunteers and supervisors can provide for debriefings and evaluation of emotional strength. Teaching and reinforcing the necessity for self-care is an essential aspect of good supervision. How to treat vicarious trauma in volunteers. Primary treatment for volunteers experiencing vicarious trauma is to temporarily refrain from activities that cause the condition, something many volunteers don't want to do during crisis. If vicarious trauma or compassion fatigue is caught early, a brief break involving rest and recreation may be all that's needed. If allowed to progress, longer periods of recovery will likely be needed. During recovery, unhealthy coping mechanisms need to be addressed. Treatment for substance abuse may be necessary. Medical care and mental health services may be required. During a time of need, being a volunteer can be an immensely rewarding endeavor. It's essential that it not become a dangerous one as well. Remember, hope makes healing possible. Dr. Patricia Sherman. For more from Dr. Patricia Sherman on how to overcome trauma and post-traumatic stress disorder, read Dr. Patricia's blog at Keyboard Culture, HealingIsPossible.com. What is Keyboard Culture blog community? Keyboard Culture is a blog community of talented, enlightened leaders helping people and businesses solve problems, make decisions, create and live from love and light in the highest good for all. Our world is at a very critical point. We are either going to make it or not. Why? Well, global warming, wars, leadership problems, fear, violence, and more. We are talking about our children's future. What are we leaving for them? Now, more than ever, we need to take it upon ourselves to solve these problems. Our world needs a new type of leadership, wise, enlightened leadership. The time is now. Keyboard Culture experts want to ensure people and businesses choose paths to solve problems and create a world of love and light in the highest good for you, your children, your grandchildren, and generations to come. Please help us by passing this online movie to your family and friends. Meet and visit our experts at keyboardcultureexperts.com. If your message could help people and you would like to become an expert at Keyboard Culture blog community, email expert@keyboardculture.com. Would you like to see us feature you and your message in an online movie? Email movie@keyboardculture.com. Visit keyboardculture.com.